Hello dear student, this is my fourth lecture of work energy and power chapter. Today I will discuss the different form of kinetic energy and different form of potential energy and conservation of energy and its proof. In previous class we have already discussed the types of energy and work done, types of work and power etc. So before watch this video you must watch the lecture number 3rd of this chapter, work energy and power. Now we will start the different form of kinetic energy. In previous lecture we have already discussed kinetic energy. Kinetic energy means it is a energy due to virtue of a body when it motion. Now what is the different form of energy? The kinetic energy are basically three types. Which three types? One is translational kinetic energy, rotational kinetic energy and vibrational kinetic energy. Now we will study one by one. First is translational kinetic energy. So all of you write heading in your copy, different form of kinetic energy. Different form of kinetic energy. There are three form of kinetic energy. There are three form of kinetic energy. One is which form? Translational kinetic energy. From its name, translational kinetic energy means when a body is moving in a straight line path with a uniform speed, it means the body has a kinetic energy. Which kinetic energy? Translational kinetic energy. So we can define it when a body moves along a straight line path or linear displacement, energy possessed by the body is called translational kinetic energy. All of you please write with me and make a proper notes of this chapter. So we will see some examples, like first example is motion of a car in a straight line path. It means it has a translational kinetic energy. Why translational kinetic energy? Because it follows a linear path. When a body follows a linear path, it means it has a kinetic energy. Which types of kinetic energy? Because due to a linear path, it covers a linear path, it has a translational kinetic energy. So we will write here motion of a car on a straight line. This is the example of linear translational, straight road. Okay. And motion of a body freely falling. This is also example of motion of a body falling freely. This is also examples of translational kinetic energy. Now we will see the second part of its type, and that is the rotational kinetic energy. Rotational kinetic energy. What is the rotational kinetic energy? Rotational kinetic energy is the types of kinetic energy which is produced due to the when a body is rotate about its any axis. This axis is known as, this kinetic energy is known as the rotational kinetic energy. Means we can also define it in very simple language. When a body rotates about an axis, then energy possessed is called the rotational kinetic energy. So right here, when a body rotates about an axis, then energy possessed of the body is called rotational kinetic energy. Rotational kinetic energy. energy. Now we'll see some examples of rotational kinetic energy. For examples, we can write examples. Our first example is spin motion of earth, spin motion of earth, or motion of a rotating wheel. It means when earth rotate around the sun, suppose this is the sun and earth is rotating around it, it means earth follow a fixed axis. It means it cover a rotational motion. When it cover a rotational motion, it means it has an energy. Which energy? Kinetic energy. Which types of kinetic energy? Rotational kinetic energy. Okay, students. Now we'll study the third part of kinetic energy, that is the vibrational kinetic energy. Vibrational kinetic energy means when a body is vibrate. Vibrate means when a body follow a to and fro motion. What is the to and fro motion? To and fro motion means suppose you have a body or you have a string and you are connected string to a small ball and you apply a force on this ball and the body is rotating to and fro motion. This to and fro motion is very fastly. This motion is known as the vibration. So what is the vibration kinetic energy? When a body moves to and fro about a mean position. To and fro about a mean position, it means it has a mean position. Mean position means about an axis, it follow a to and fro motion. To and fro motion, it means it follow a vibrating motion and it has a vibrational kinetic energy. So write the third heading in your copy, vibration kinetic energy. What is the vibration kinetic energy? In very simple language, we can define it. When a body moves to and fro motion about a mean position, the motion of the vibration is called the vibration motion, and the energy pauses in the body is known as vibrational kinetic energy. Now we'll see some examples of vibrational kinetic energy. Now examples of vibrational kinetic energy. Our first example is a wire is fixed in both ends. Suppose you have a wire and you have fixed in both ends, and you are placing a small force on this wire and it will vibrate along to and fro motion along its mean position. This motion is known as the vibrational motion, and the energy gain in this string is known as the vibrational kinetic energy. So we can write here a wire fixed at the ends, pulsed in medium, middle. Now we will study the second part of energy, and that is the potential energy. So students, write heading potential energy in your notebook. Potential energy. What is the potential energy? Potential energy means when a body is at rest, or when a body changes its position or changes its height, it gains a energy. That energy is known as the potential energy. It means the energy possessed by the virtue of a specific position of a body is called the potential energy. So we can write here the energy possessed by virtue of a specific position of a body is called potential energy. Is called potential energy. There are two types of potential energy. One is gravitational energy and other is elastic potential energy. Before we study the gravitational potential energy and elastic potential energy, we will see some examples of potential energy. Our first example is a stretched spring. You have seen a stretched spring. Suppose you have a spring like this and you are applying a force F. When you are applying a force F, it means it gain a height or it changes its position. The gain in energy in this spring is called the potential energy. So we can write here the examples of stretched spring, or other example is a bent blow or stretched rubber, and the other example is a bent blow or stretched rubber. Okay, and now we will study the different forms of potential energy. So write the next heading: different forms of potential energy. Different form of potential energy. Potential energy. What is the different form of potential energy? Or there are two types of different potential energy. One is the gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy, and other is elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. What is the gravitational potential energy? So write the next heading. First term we will see gravitational potential energy. What is gravitational potential energy? If I ask, then your answer should be the energy of a body at some height. The energy of any body at some height above the surface of Earth is measured by the amount of work done in lifting it up to that height, it against the gravitational force. It means, suppose you have a body, suppose this is the Earth's surface and you have a body M, and you have to reach it at height h. You are applying a force on the body M and you will do some work on the body M to lift the body M at height h. When you are doing work, it means the energy is gained on this body. So we can write here in easy language gravitational potential energy. The gravitational potential energy of a body, we can write here the gravitational potential energy of a body at some height above the earth surface, is measured by the amount of work done. What work done? To lifting this body at height h. About the measured work done in lifting it up to where? Up to that height. Against the gravitational force. When you are moving a body in upward direction or lifting any body at height h in upward direction, you are working a force. You are applying a force on this body against the gravitational force. It means you are working here on the body. and this work done is stored in the form of energy, and this energy is known as the gravitational potential energy. We can write in very simple language, gravitational potential energy of a body at some height above the earth's surface is measured. Why measured? How measured? By the amount of work done in lifting it up to that height. At that height, the amount of work done lifting a body against the gravitational force is called the gravitational potential energy. Now we will determine the derivation of gravitational potential energy, and we'll see the formula of gravitational energy in terms of acceleration due to gravity, or in terms of small g. What is the small g? Small g is the acceleration due to gravity. And suppose we have a body of mass m. Suppose we have a body of mass m is taken to a height h without any acceleration by a force equal to weight of the body acting upward. Therefore work done on the body is, suppose you have a body having mass m, and you have to lifted it up to height h without accelerating. Without accelerating means its acceleration should not be changed. When you are applying a force on this body in upward direction, this force is equal to the weight force of that body or of this body. So here we can write here work done is equal to force into displacement. Here displacement is height h, because you are displacing this body up to height h. So you can write here displacement is h, and w is equal to here force you are applying. This force is equal to what force? Weight force, mg, into height is h. So we can write here the formula of gravitational energy is mgh. This work done is equal to gravitational potential energy, and the gravitational potential energy is denoted in other symbol. This is the u. Okay, now we'll study the second part, that is elastic potential energy. What is elastic potential energy? So write the next heading, elastic potential energy. What is the elastic potential energy? Elastic potential energy means when you are applying a deforming force. Deforming force. What is deforming force? Deforming force means strength. Suppose you have a body having mass m. You are applying a force on this body. And the body changes its shape or size. It means this force is known as the deforming force. But you are applying a force on this body, the body is not changing its shape and size, it will remain its same. It means this force is not the deforming force. Deforming force means a force which can change the shape or size of any body is called the deforming force. On the now elastic potential energy means when a deforming force is applied on a body to change its shape or size is called the elastic potential energy. It means it has a elastic potential energy. So we can write here when a deforming force is applied on a body to change its shape or size is called elastic potential energy. Okay, This is a very important elastic potential energy. Now we will study the conservation of energy. Students, our next topic is law of conservation of energy. This is very important topic for class 10th students. So write the heading in your notebook, law of conservation of energy. What is the law of conservation of energy? It means energy remains conserved. Conserved means, students, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to other form. It means energy can transfer mechanical energy to heat energy, or sound energy to electrical energy to chemical energy to electrical energy, वगैरह वगैरह, and many more. Now we will study the law of conservation of energy. According to this law, we can write here, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So write, according to this law, energy remain conserved. Energy remains conserved. That is, neither be created, neither it can be created, nor it can be destroyed. It can be converted. It can be converted from one form to another form. Okay. Now we will study the conservation of mechanical energy and its proof. Mechanical energy remain conserved. How it remain conserved? We will see its proof, and this proof is very important. This proof is asked many times in your board examination. So we will study very carefully. And now, conservation of mechanical energy. What is the mechanical energy, students? If I asked what is the mechanical energy, your answer should be, mechanical energy is the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Sum of kinetic energy. Mechanical energy is what? Mechanical energy is sum of potential energy and kinetic energy. Okay. And we have to prove by derivation that mechanical energy remains conserved according to law of conservation of energy. So we have some consideration. We have to do some consideration, like suppose here is a point A and here is a point B. This is the Earth's surface at height h. At height h, we have considered a point A. And let a body of mass m is falling freely. Suppose we have a body having mass m and it is falling freely in downward direction. Falling freely under the conservation force from A point, from at height h, A point to B point. Okay. Now, so we can write here, let a body of mass m is falling from where? Is falling freely. Okay. Is falling freely under conservative force. And that which conservative force? That conservative force is gravity force, because the earth is attracting this body in towards direction. It means here we can write gravity force. Okay, gravity from A, from a height h above ground. Okay, above ground. So we have to prove at point A the total energy of this body is something, and total energy of this body at point B is something. Both energies should be equal. If it follows the law of conservation of energy. And at another point we considered at point B. This is the point B. At point B we have to also prove this. At point B the total energy remain conserved. It means we have to prove here at point A the total energy of this body remains same, at point B also remains same, and at point at point C, this is the point C, at point C the total energy remain same. Means at different point we have to find the total energy and we have to show it should be equal. So we have consider, let first we consider at point A. At point A, okay. If I asked at point A what will be the kinetic energy, here what will be the kinetic energy, it means this body is at rest. At height h we have a body having mass m and it is at rest. It means its initial velocity is 0, okay. So if initial velocity is 0, it means kinetic energy is 0. At point A, kinetic energy at point A, kinetic energy at point A is 0. If I asked what should be the potential energy of this point, what should be potential energy of this body at point A? Potential energy at point A. So we know that the potential energy, formula of potential energy is mgh, weight of this body into height of this body. So weight force is mg and height is h. Potential energy at point A is mgh. Now total energy means mechanical energy. So we can write here total energy. Total energy means sum of kinetic plus sum of potential. Sum of kinetic and sum of potential is mgh. It means total energy of the body m at point A is mgh. We consider this is equation number first. We have to prove at point C, at point B, the total energy should be equal to mgh. Then we can write the conservation, it follow the conservation of, law of conservation, or it will be proof of conservation of mechanical energy. Now we consider at point C. Suppose when we drop this body m in downward direction, it cover at distance x up to point C. It cover at distance x. Suppose this distance is x, then what will be this distance? This is not given in this. This should be the midpoint. Not, this is not a midpoint. So we write here this distance. The total distance is h, and up to this distance is x. So this distance should be h minus x. Okay. And now at point B, at point C, not B, at point C, we have to find the total energy at point C. Then we can write here at point C what is the velocity of this body. Velocity of this body, suppose when we drop it in downward direction, it has a velocity v1. We consider this velocity is v1, okay. When it has a velocity v1, then what will be the value of v1? We know that from the equation of, when we write here, when body has fallen, when a body has fallen a distance x, then what will be the velocity at point C? Then v1 will equal to, we know that v1 square from the third equation of motion, v1 square is equal to u square plus 2gh, because at the place of s we write here x, because the distance is x, okay. And v1 square is equal to, at the place of u we can write here 0, because its initial velocity is 0, okay. And plus 2gh, 2gx, okay. Now v1 will equal to 2gx, v1 is equal to 2gx, okay. Now kinetic energy of this point, kinetic energy at point C, what will be the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy will be half mv square. Then we can write here half m. At the place of v square we can write 2gx, and this will equal to at point C half, and 2 will cancel out, mgx. Okay, and now we will prove the potential energy at point C. Then we can consider the total energy. Potential energy at point C, what will be the potential energy? We know that the potential energy is mgh. So we write here, now students, potential energy, here we can write potential energy at point C. At point C, we have to find the potential energy. Potential energy means mg, mass of this body, and g, acceleration due to gravity, and height up to, and height from the earth's surface to the body. This height is h minus x. At point, potential energy at point C, this will equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, mg. At the place of h, we write here h minus x. Okay, and our third step should be, first step is kinetic energy, second step is potential energy, third step is total energy. Here at point C, first step is kinetic energy, this is mgx. Second step is potential energy at point C, this is mgh minus x. And third step is total energy at point C. Total energy, what will be the total energy? Then we can write here potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is mgx minus x, h minus x plus mgx. After solving, we get mg h minus mgx plus mgx. mgx will cancel out. At point C, we can write here at point C, total energy or mechanical energy will equal to, total energy or mechanical energy will equal to mgh. Okay, we have find the total energy at point A, this is mgh. At point C, this is mgh. Now we will find the potential energy at point B. What will be the potential energy at point B? Total kinetic energy should be equal to mgh. Then we can write the conservation of mechanical energy. It follows the conservation of mechanical energy. Now we'll consider the potential energy and kinetic energy at point B. So right here at point, which point? At point B. Now we will consider at point B. At point B, kinetic energy of body, what will be the kinetic energy of the body? Equal to half mv square. So we have to find the half mv square. Here velocity we have considered v1, so we write here v1 square half mv1 square. Now we will find the value of v1. This value of v1 will change from C to V. This will change at B. We denote it V. Okay. We have to find the value of V when the body is shifted from C point to B point. What will be the value of V? So we can write it from the third equation of motion. We know that V square is equal to U square plus 2gh. V square is equal to U is initial velocity is 0 square plus 2gh. At the place of 2, g and h. H means total height. It covers the total height at point B. So we can write at the place of h. So here v square is equal to 2gh, and now kinetic energy will equal to half mv square. Half mv square means mgh. Okay. This is the kinetic energy at point B. Now we will study the potential energy at point B. What will be the potential energy? Potential energy we are finding at point B, the total energy. We have already find the kinetic energy at point B. This is mgh. Now potential energy at point B. Potential energy at point B. What will be the potential energy? This is, here the height is 0 because this is the earth's surface. So at potential energy at point B, height is 0, h is 0. So P is equal to mg into 0, potential energy will be 0. Okay. Now total energy, what will be the total energy at point B? Total energy at point B, this will equal to potential plus kinetic. Potential is 0 and kinetic is mgh. This is equation number 3. and this is equation number second. Okay, we have find the potential total energy at different point. At point A we have find the total energy is mgh, total energy at point A is mgh. At point C the total energy is mgh. Why mgh? Because here the kinetic energy is mgx and potential energy is mgh minus x. After solving we get the total energy at point C is mgh. Okay, at point B is total energy mgh. It means the energy, total energy of the body at point A is mgh, at point C is mgh, at point B is mgh. It means energy of any body remains conserved. So we can write here on comparing equation 1, 2 and 3. On comparing equation 1, 2 and 3, we can write what we can write? Energy remains same and it is conserved. On comparing equation 1, 2 and 3, total energy remain same, that is conserved. Okay, that is conserved. This is the proof of law of conservation of energy, and this is very important proof. So we will see examples of law of conservation of energy. We will see some examples. Our first example is simple pendulum. Simple pendulum. What is the simple pendulum? In previous class we have studied simple pendulum. Simple pendulum means stands you have a string and its one end is hinged or fixed and other end is subtended with a bob having mass m. This is known as the simple pendulum. When you are applying a force, it will start moving a vibrating motion, or it follow to and fro motion. Okay, and this system is known as the simple pendulum. Now we will study at the motion of simple pendulum how energy remain conserved. Our topic is examples of law of conservation of energy. We will see some examples of law of conservation of energy. Our first example is simple pendulum. Simple pendulum means when a body is subtended with a string having length L or height h, having length L, and a bob is subtended having mass m. When it follow a to and fro motion, this is the earth surface. When it follow a to and fro motion, it means at the time it follow this position and other time it follow this position. It gains the same height on both sides, h height and this also be h height. Okay. Now we have to prove this. This is the point number A and this is the point number B. This is the point number C. We have to prove that at point A, at point B, at point C, total energy at point A, at point B and at point C, total energy remains same. So we have to find the total energy at point A. Total energy means sum of mechanical and sum of mechanical and kinetic. So we have to find the kinetic energy at point A and potential energy at point A, kinetic energy at point B and potential energy at point B, and same as point C. First of all we have to consider, so we can write here, let a simple pendulum is fixed with a rigid support and allow to oscillate okay, and allow to oscillate to and fro motion, it will oscillate. Okay, and we have to prove, suppose if I ask what will be the kinetic energy at point B. At point B its motion remain stop, it will stop, then we can write here its velocity will 0. When its velocity will 0, it means kinetic energy at point B is equal to 0. Okay, and what will be the potential energy at point B? Potential energy at point B is what? mgh. Why mgh? Because it has a mass mg and it gain at height h. From this point to this point it cover a height h. So we can write here the potential energy is mgh. If I asked what will be the kinetic energy at point A, kinetic energy at point A, kinetic energy at point A, this will equal to mgh, potential energy. Why? When I asked what will be the potential energy at point A, potential energy at point A, because due to the zero position, due to a zero height here, there is no any height, so we can write here this is a no any potential energy. This potential energy is convert into kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will equal to potential energy mgh. When I asked what will the kinetic energy at point C, then we can write here kinetic energy at point C is 0, because here is also no velocity of this body, and potential energy at point C is same as potential energy at point B. This is mgh. So we can write here, since Bob is, this ball is known as the Bob. It has a very small mass m. This suppose since Bob is in the state, Bob is in the state of rest at point B and C. Therefore, kinetic energy at point B will equal to kinetic energy at point C, and this will equal to what? 0, because there is no any velocity. It has also no any velocity. And now potential energy at point B is equal to potential energy at point C. This will equal to mgh. Okay, this would be the equation number first. Total energy at point B and C. Total energy at point B and C. Total energy means sum of kinetic plus sum of potential. Kinetic plus potential is total energy. Kinetic is 0 and potential is mgh. Then total energy will equal to mgh. Okay. And we consider this is equation number 2. Now we have to write write here the total energy at point A. On the other hand, when Bob crosses point A, then when Bob crosses point A, to and fro motion, it cover a to and fro motion. When it crosses A, it means then its kinetic energy is converted into potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Then its kinetic energy at point A will equal to mgh, and potential energy at point A will equal to 0. Then total energy at point A is equal to mgh. This is equation number 3. Okay. Now at equations 2nd and 3rd, we can consider the total energy of this bob during motion, during to and fro motion remain conserved. So we can write here total energy of the simple pendulum remain conserved. In this lecture, we have covered all topics of the work, energy and power, and next lecture we will discuss the numericals related to the energy, related to work done and many more. So students, make a proper notes of work, energy and powers and try to solve some examples related to the conservation of energy, related to the types of work done, power and many more. I will discuss in next lecture some numericals. Okay, thank you very much.